In the summer of 68 CE, the Emperor Nero took his own life. His suicide ended the Julio-Claudian bloodline, the dynasty that had governed the Roman world since Augustus. The resulting power vacuum dragged a bankrupt, burning Rome into a meat grinder. Over the next 12 months, rival generals would slaughter each other for the throne in a period known as the Year of the Four Emperors. For nearly a century, the Roman state had relied on an aristocratic system built on noble privilege and supposedly divine bloodlines. That system had now fractured completely. Rome was collapsing, and survival required a leader who prioritized state stability over the vanity of the old elite. Titus Flavius Vespasianus was a man from the rural Sabine countryside. The son of a tax collector, he entered politics only after being ridiculed by his mother for his lack of ambition. Navigating the deadly, paranoid courts of emperors like Caligula and Nero required a specific set of skills. Lacking royal pedigree, Vespasian survived by keeping his head down and doing the empire's dirty work. He even managed to survive falling asleep during one of Nero's self-indulgent lyre recitals. It was a lapse in etiquette that would have been a death sentence for a more prominent rival. Because he was seen as a low-born soldier rather than a political threat, he outlived the elites who looked down on him. While the emperors in the capital indulged in luxury, Vespasian spent his career in the mud and blood of the imperial frontiers. During the invasion of Britain in 43 CE, he commanded a legion through grueling conditions, earning the fierce loyalty of his men through shared hardship. Decades later, when sent to crush the Great Jewish Revolt in 66 CE, he fought shoulder to shoulder with his soldiers in the Judean desert, even taking an arrow to the foot. Rome's traditional elite claimed obedience through birthright, but Vespasian earned his authority by bleeding on the front lines. When the civil war erupted in 69 CE, Vespasian didn't rush the capital. As rival generals Galba, Otho, and Vitellius tore each other apart in Rome, he bided his time in the east. He targeted Rome's most critical vulnerability, its food supply. By seizing Egypt, he choked off the grain shipments that fed the city. With the capital weakened and starving, his loyal legions marched into Italy virtually unopposed. The reigning emperor, Vitellius, was captured and executed. Vespasian took the throne through a patient application of logistics and timing. Vespasian inherited an empire that was functionally bankrupt. Nero's extravagance and a year of civil war had drained the imperial treasury to nothing. To refill the coffers, he implemented extreme financial discipline. He even levied a tax on the urine collected from public latrines, which was sold to tanners and launderers for its ammonia. His son, Titus, called the tax undignified. Vespasian held a gold coin from the first day's proceeds under his son's nose, asking if it smelled. When Titus admitted it did not, Vespasian replied with a single phrase, pecunia non olet, money does not stink. For the new emperor, the survival of the treasury outweighed any aristocratic concerns about the source of its wealth. He utilized these ruthlessly collected taxes and the spoils looted from the siege of Jerusalem to physically rebuild Rome. Vespasian systematically returned land Nero had seized for personal palaces, converting private estates into public monuments like the Temple of Peace and the foundations of the Colosseum. By passing the throne to his sons, he established the Flavian Dynasty. His rise had proven that an emperor could now be chosen by the army, far outside the walls of Rome. Imperial legitimacy had been redefined. It now relied on military backing and public works rather than divine bloodlines. In 79 CE, at the age of 69, Vespasian fell deathly ill. He retained his dark humor to the end, joking to his attendants, "Oh dear, I think I'm becoming a god." As his final moments arrived, he struggled to his feet, declaring that an emperor ought to die standing. Vespasian's legacy was the stabilization of the Roman world, achieved through the same unsentimental pragmatism he had used to seize it.